So hello everyone, today we are going to start with another toolbar of the surfaces. For now we are seeing Catia surfacing and we have completed the surfaces toolbar as well as operations toolbar. Still some commands are remaining for the surfaces. So today we are going to see the toolbar name as Wireframe. Basically Wireframe stands for 2D and 3D sketches. Then we can apply the 3D features on them. So to start with, first we are going to see the point command here. So in point command, just click here. We don't need to select any plane. It will ask you the X, Y, Z references for positioning the point. So for the first point, we are going to take X, Y and Z as 0 only. Say OK. So we can see at the origin one point has been created. We'll go for the second point now. Select the point option and here we are going to put the X distance as 60 mm. Again select the point. Next we are going to take the Y distance as 60. So X and Y are going to be 60. So this point will be placed somewhere here. So this is the X distance and this is the Y. That's why X and Y as 60 mm placed here. Next point again. This time we are going to take Z also as 60 mm. So we can see here Z is coming as 60. Next we are going to take Y 60. Other values as 0 only. So here these 4 points at the base are being made and one point at X and Z distance. We are going to make one cubical shape by the help of points here. So next YZ as 60 and say preview. Say OK. Next X and Z as 60 and Y is going to be 0. Say preview and OK. Lastly Z is going to be 60 and X and Y are going to be 0. Say preview and say OK. We'll hide the planes here. Say X, Y, Z planes to be hidden here. Now we have this point coordinates. If we join them together with 3D lines, it is going to be seen as cube here. So we are going to select the 3D line from the wireframe toolbar. Select this line option and we have the line type as point to point. So we are going to select point to point. This is the first line. At one command you are going to make only one line. Say OK and finish. Then for the next line again we need to repeat the line command by type as point to point only. Say OK. Here also. And lastly this line, the upper line. So this is the line command connecting by points to points. We can also go for line command by point and direction option. So point and direction, select the point. And now this time I want the direction to be taken here in this way between these 2 points. So the direction here will be Z axis. So I'll say the direction as Z axis. Say right click and say direction Z. Here we need to give the length also. So I'm going to take this length as 60 mm. So it is coming 60 mm at the upper side. I'll say reverse. So we know it is going to connect at 60 till this point only as the distance between the 2 points was 60. Say preview and OK. So one more line with direction option. So in this way by point to point and direction we can make 3D lines. We also have one more option here in lines, that is polyline option. So we don't need to say one by one line. We can directly click on the points and line will be created here. So I'm going to select the points all together. And we have this line here. But it is going to be combined single line. Here all the lines were separate, individual lines. Here it is going to be polyline, means combined line. So the difference we can feel in polyline and single line set that if we try to make fillet here, 3D fillet, we'll have the fillet option also here in this second last option. Just go for this corner operation. And here in corner if I try to make the fillet between these 2 upper lines. So if I try to make fillet with radius of 10 mm, and if I say trim elements to corner, so the corners will be trim. Say preview and OK. We can see here one fillet between these 2 lines is been made of radius 10, trimming the corners. But if I try the same thing on the set of polyline, it will not take fillet there as it is a combined single line. So if I try to select one line, it will be selected as a set. So this is the drawback of polyline, that no fillets can be made as it is a single line. So it is better if you want to avoid the corners and make fillet, then you can go for single individual line only, not with the use of polyline. Say cancel now. We have one more option here. 3D spline. So in 3D spline, we are going to select the points in such a manner that this will be the first point, this will be the second point, this will be the third point, and this will be the fourth point. So we can see here one spline in the shape of curve is been made here, starting from this point, coming in this way and ending at point 4. Say OK. So now this is a spline being made here, 3D spline, by using points only. Next thing, if I want to close this spline, we have the option here for closing also. So in the second last option, below fillet command, there is connect curve. So we need to select this connect curve. We need to select the point first and then spline. Then again the last point and the spline. So here we can see this two spline ends are connected with one curve here. If I want to reverse the direction, I can reverse the direction here. On the other side also I can reverse. So here this spline is coming now from the upper side. We can see here it is coming from this upper side. If I want to reverse the direction and take it below direction, so just say reverse on both the sides, and now it is coming from the downside. So we can reverse the directions of the end curve connect to connect these splines. So one shape or profile is being made by the use of splines only. Say OK and finish. So in this way we can use splines also. After that we are going to see 3D circle. So if I want to make one 3D circle, I can go for that also. You just need to select the circle command. It will ask you for one vertex point or center point. So I'm going to select this corner as a center point. So this corner has been selected as a center point. Now we need to select the plane reference, or we can select the support reference here. So right click here and I'm going to say I want to make this circle on XY plane. So on XY plane, this circle we can see here in orange color being shown. Now for size, if I want to change the radius, I'm going to say this radius as 60 mm. Say preview. So we can see in orange color, this half circle or semicircle is been made with the radius of 60 at XY plane. If I want to change the plane, instead of XY, I'm going to take YZ plane. So now it is coming on YZ plane. If I want to change the plane again, I will say XZ plane. Now it is coming at XZ plane. So we can change the plane here. If I want complete circle, not a partial circle, then we can go for whole circle command. So this complete circle is coming now. We can see in orange color here on the plane name as ZX plane. Say OK and finish. So this was circle command. Now we'll delete this circle, as well as we are going to delete the splines here. Connect spline and spline. And now we need points and plane repetition on one single curve. We'll take this line as a curve and we are going to make some points equally divided on this curve or line with having some planes also perpendicular to them. So we are going to take this option, points and plane repetition. You just need to select any curve. So when I try to select this one as a single line, as it was made by polyline, it is not selecting a single line here. So I'll try this on upper line. Just select the line and you need to provide the instances to be equally divided on that line. So I'm going to say 5 instances we need. After giving 5 instances, we are going to select this option to create normal planes also. So I'm going to on this option here, just say preview, and we can see now this line curve is divided in 5 different sections: first, second, third, fourth and fifth. Also planes are coming normal to them. Just say OK and finish. So this command was for making the points on any curve, maybe a line, maybe a spline, maybe an arc, and we can make equidistant point with planes also. And here the thing is that points will be made equidistant, but planes also will be added with them. So this is the speciality of this command, that is points and plane repetition. Repeat one more time. Select the curve, divide the instances. This time I'm going to say 6 instances and just say create normal planes also. Say preview. And now we can see after making this fillet, this complete curve is selected as one entity and the planes are coming equidistant by the number of 6 we can see here. Say OK and finish. So this was the option, points and plane repetition. Next option, we are going to make helix here. Now for helix we are going to take new part. I'll put the name here as helix only. Say OK. We need to select one plane and put one point here That point will act as the endpoint of the helix. We just need to select the plane, say OK, and put one point. This point will also represent as the radius from the axis. So the distance from this point to this axis will be taken as radius for the spring. So I'm going to take this 20 mm. Now after taking or placing this point at 20, if I try to make helix, then the diameter of the spring will be 40 mm. Say exit workbench, go for the helix command. It will ask for the starting point, so I'm going to select this point. Now it will ask for the axis, so I'm going to select this vertical axis, that will be Z1. So I'm going to say our axis as Z axis. Now it will ask you for the pitch, so I'm going to say this pitch here as 5 mm, and the height we are going to take for the spring here as 120 mm. Say preview. If I want to make this spring taper, I can add the taper angle also. So we can see here, now it is coming 3 degrees taper. So here also it is been seen little bit taper in shape. If I want this taper to be acting as outward side, so I'm going to take this as outward. So now the taper is coming outward by 3 degrees. If I want to increase the angle, I can increase, and we can see the change here in model. Now it is taking 6 degrees taper. If I want them inside, so inward. If I want outside, so outward. If I don't want taper, I'll just say 0 degrees here. Say preview and OK. Now this profile with the helix command has been made. So we are going to shift this interface to part modeling. There we are going to apply the sweep command, which is also known as rip command in part modeling. So to shift, I am going to select the start button, say mechanical design, and we are going to say part design here. The interface will be changed and we are now in part modeling. We are going to apply the rip command here. For that we need to make one profile at the end. We also need one plane so that we can make that profile. So here at this end point we need one perpendicular plane. For that we are going to select the plane option, select the curve first and then select the point. So you will get one perpendicular plane here. Say OK. Now select this plane and say sketch. Next we need to make one circular profile. As we are going to make spring, the cross section of spring is always circular, that's why we have made this profile as circular. Next we need to select both the points of the circle and center. Then we need to select the center point of circle and this end point. Say coincide here. Say OK. We'll provide the diameter for this circle. So I'm going to take this diameter here as 2.5. Next, after making the profile, say exit workbench and go for the feature rip command. Select the rip. First it will ask profile, so I'm going to select this profile. Then it will ask the center curve, in which we have to select the spring profile. Then say preview, and we can see the profile is being swept along the path made by the helix. Say OK and finish. This was helix command. Now after helix, again we are going to change the interface and go to wireframe and surface design. I'm going to delete this part body. Say right click and say delete. Say update, say Ctrl U for the update. So the next command we are going to see here is projection command. This command is useful in such conditions. We can see here in image, one part has been made here. This part is not completely flat. It has one diversion at the upper side and then it is continued as a flat surface. So if I want to make this swept, we can see here this swept feature has been applied on this surface, but this surface is uneven, not flat. So if I want to create a sketch of 245 mm, we can say a line, then we cannot create a line on this uneven surface directly saying sketch. So to solve this problem, we will take one parallel plane from this surface above, and on that plane we are going to make one line that will be of 245, and that line which is made at the upper side in the flat plane will be projected on this uneven surface by using the project command, or we can say by using the project feature. So we'll take this example only. So to make this profile, we are going to select the plane, we are going to select the front plane, and we are going to make this profile first, and then we are going to add one line, and that line will be projected on this rectangular face. So to start with, select the software, select the front plane, say sketch, and make one line. The starting point of this line will be coincided with the horizontal axis. Next we are going to take these inclined lines here in this shape. We can see this shape here. So this distance is given as 110 and the total distance is 340. So we are going to select the values here. Say this distance as 110. So it is 110 here, 110. And the total distance here it is given as 340. Take this distance as 340. We'll drag this profile a little bit inside this point also. Next, this height we are going to assume it. We'll take it as 40 mm and this angle we are going to take here as 135 degrees. Now this distance we are going to take 90 mm and the other side angle also as 135. Next, we'll move it and see what dimension is remaining now. So it is not coming symmetric. Again we are going to add the symmetricity here. Select both the endpoints and the center axis. Go for the relation as symmetricity. Say OK. Now say exit workbench and we are going to make it extrude. We are going to make it extrude by 50 mm on mirror extend sides so that the total distance will by default come 100 mm. Say OK and finish. Now we need to add some fillets here. As we have made all the surfaces in one single extrude, we don't need to make it join here. We can directly go for fillet. Just change the interface, go to shapes, and here we are going to continue with generative shape design. In operations toolbar you will get the fillet command here at 4 number, this second type. So the fillets we are going to take here as 30 and 20. So this corners we are going to take as 30 mm fillet, or else we'll continue with the same size of 30 on 4 sides. Say this value as radius 30 and finish. Next we need to hide the sketch here. This feature was made by using rip command and making one profile at the cross section. But for that we need to make this path first. But as this surface is uneven, it is not a flat surface, we cannot directly say sketch on any one surface and make a line here. Line should be length of 245 mm. So directly flat line is not possible for making the rip command. So here we will introduce this command, that is projection. For projection, first I am going to take one plane from this top plane's reference. Add one plane here, it should be above the surface. Say OK. Height we can take anything here, say sketch. And now we are going to add one line. It will start somewhere from here at mid portion and we are going to end this line on the other side. So the distance, we are going to take this line's length as 245 and from side this distance is given as 40 mm. So this is 245 mm length, say 245, and this distance from the end side is 40 mm. Now this value make the line fully constrained. But this line is been made on the upper plane, we can see. It is not projected on this surface. So we are going to say project, just exit the workbench and go for the command, that is project entities. In project entities, first we need to select the projected, that will be this line, and the support surface we are going to select this one. Say preview. But we can see here, this line is being projected here in a normal form. Projection type is normal. So this line is not coming completely as 245 mm line. For that we need to change the projection type and say along a direction, and we need to add the direction. So by seeing this axis system we can say this direction is Z direction. So just right click on this option and say Z direction and say preview. Now we can see here the starting points are coincided with each other. Starting is same and the ending will also be same, coincided at the same points. Say preview and OK. Now we'll hide this sketch here, and from the top if we observe, we are going to arrange this view in top view. For that select the view and say top orientation. We can see here this line is now been projected on the uneven surface with the same length of 245. This length will be same. If I want to cross check it, I'll just select measure command and we are going to select the type of measurement as points only. On the second side also points only. Select the first point and second point. We can see this length has been maintained as 245, but we have made it on this uneven surface, not a flat surface. So in such conditions where uneven surfaces are there, we can use this projection command. Next command we are going to see here is intersection. For that I am going to select this face and say sketch. Now for intersection I am going to make one line and we are going to say extrude on this. Exit workbench and say extrude for this line. So after extrusion, we'll hide the sketch here. We'll hide the early sketch also. But now you can see there is no edge formation or any intersecting sketch between these two surfaces. But if I want one intersecting sketch on these two surfaces, exact on the intersection, then we are going to go for this command, that is intersection. Select both the surfaces, say preview and say OK. Now at the intersection of both the surfaces, we have this line here. Just say extrude it, select the line. In the direction we are going to say Z direction. And we can see here one extrusion is coming with length 50. If I want to increase this extrusion on both the sides, we can increase it. Just because we have made this intersecting line on both the surfaces which are intersected. That line was obtained using intersection command. Say OK and finish. So in such cases we can use intersection command here. Lastly, we are going to see this extrapolate command. So for extrapolate command, suppose if I make one sketch here, I'll say part, new part, name I'm going to say extrapolate only, say OK. Now make one extrude here by using spline, say escape and go for exit workbench and say extrude. Now extrusion we are going to take as mirror extent on both the sides, say OK and finish. Now if I say extrude to continue this edge as a surface tangent to this previous surface, we cannot do that. We are going to select this edge and for direction we have only these three options X, Y, Z. If I select Z also, then this tangency is not been continued here. So limit to as 0, but we can see these two surfaces are coming as intersected surfaces, not continued as a tangent surfaces. So to avoid this, there is a command known as extrapolate. So I am going to delete this surface and we are going to continue this surface extrusion by tangency. For that we are going to select the command, select this boundary and select this extrapolated surface as this surface which was previously extruded. And you just need to add the length now. Say I'm going to say as 100 mm. So we can see here this surface has been added but in tangency with the previous surface which was extruded. So in this way we can continue with the extrusion by maintaining the tangency with the other surfaces using extrapolate command. So these were the commands for today. We are going to continue with the lectures. We are going to see the swap and swap types. Some more types of swaps are remaining now. We'll see in next lecture how to make use of some more swap types. Till then you can follow the Catia playlist. And if you want to join the course for placement, you can join the courses here. The number for contact will be given in the link below. You can join the courses for placement. You can also go for BIW and surface design courses. You can go for domains such as plastic domain, BIW domain, sitting domain. We also provide placements in that particular domains. So if you want, you can contact us and join the courses online or offline. Till then, I'm going to say thank you.